Nice. Nine legs. Nice power. Yeah, good. Good patience. Good patience. So that was excellent riding. Now obviously we could have done a better job with our line, but your attitude of that fence was spectacular. Really calm, and yours actually, when you do that, jumps really well. Very good job. Bite event.
I got this pack for $25.
Thank you. You got that lead, but whoa, what happened there? A little bone brain. That was a really nice ride. Good correction. There we go. Settle down now a little bit. There we go. That's better. But I am proud of him for getting that lead that time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he didn't keep it, but it was nicely done. Stay there, don't walk, stay still. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So, actually, that was a big, I like that stirrup lane better. It was way better. You're more effective with the position without being extreme. So you can definitely feel from him. But you're doing all the right things in all the right places. He just needs a little bit of time to probably figure it out in his hind feet. But you did more often than not get the lead. You know?
Well, and thank goodness after this one. Otherwise, I was gonna wonder if he.
But he did. You got it actually quite nicely. And you're correct in your assessment that once he gets going, it's a little easier to manage. Right? Because like on this line, where you had your two most extreme decisions, he came back really nicely and jumped them both really well, both on the forward step and the movement. He's a little slow, so you're going to have to make sure that before you start the course, like if you guys imagine, if you guys think about how your fellow competitors, how they typically start a course out, what kind of a canter do they have when they first pick up the canter?
They usually create the energy and then test it, right? They're going back.
Should be, but mostly they don't. Mostly they go in a very block canter. They pick up the canter. That's what you don't need with him.
Right.
You gotta rev him up. So the more adjustability you can get, the better.
And was this Swedish? He just was a little fun.
Yeah, it's the first really big fence we've had. They all got caught by the ground line. And when I said on that, it's horses are super susceptible to it. That's why it's so legal, because horses are suckers for that. That's why as they develop, things like that are important, because they learn to look at the top of the fence, not at the base where the ground line is. Now, I'm not suggesting you guys should go out and dip a lot of backward triple bars, right? But they learn after a while that when you moving the ground line, what works and what doesn't work. We're not stupid. So if you jump this oxen coming this way, even though it's a preliminary horse, that's not very big, right? It's a novice size fence. I'm going to jump that back. It's a preliminary horse. schooling, I would never do it in a clinic, right? But I'll do it in schooling so they learn. Don't look at that back panel. Look at that front panel. Now I'm not, as I said, I'm not going to do something insane like I used to, right? But when I was 13 or 14, I would have jumped that all day long, right? But I got spanked for that once by my trainer. So we used to play a game in our bar that was called Jump That Fence. It was a good game. The game was that you could set any fence, and if you jumped it clear, everybody else had to jump it clear. So I did a big backward triple bar like that, jumped it clear, and then the kid that came after me flipped your horse on it, and got spanked. It wasn't the first time I got spanked.
How was the kid and the horse? Hopefully good. If you have to think about it, then.
He's Carol Hancock, the horse named Mr. Sport. She won 2 national preliminary championships on that horse. Both tied up. She actually created a rule. She's a rule creator. In those days, the rule was that all you had to do was get to the finish line. Now you have to actually leave the ring mounted. Because she did tighten her girth twice. And on the last combination, the saddle was spinning off to the side, and she would jump the last fence on the side of the horse. Twice. Nice horse. Mr. Sport. So, questions?
So I do. Why do you not want us looking early?
Well, I said you can look early. I don't want you keeping your eyes at the fence all the way around the turn.
This is good to know because I'm teaching all my kids to do that. So tell me what the reason is. Is there a reason, or is it
Why
just
you look at the fence all the way around the turn?
why you don't want us?
Because they won't do it. What they'll do is they'll go.
Right.
Right, so instead of trying to force them to peripherally see the turn, have them look once, see where the jump is, draw the line back to them. Now, if they're there, they can look here,
Yeah.
right? But they don't need to look back. It hasn't moved. They don't need to make their head go back to the jump. And I definitely don't want them going in the corner staring.
Okay.
So, scientific evidence for that. They did a research study over in England. What they did was they created a special set of glasses. And what the glasses did was they had like some kind of a it was a laser, but that's or cold laser. What the laser did was it measured where the pupil was, and then it sent a radio signal to a chart that would show where the jumper riders were looking with their pupils all the way through the courses, and all of the top riders did exactly the same thing. They do what we do. They look ahead once, they look at the line, they look at the turn, look at the top of the jump, keep their eyes there the entire time, never look down at the fence. And then we get about 3 strides out, look beyond the fence to the line afterwards. All of them. Well, the ones who are doing that.
Yeah.
So there's some scientific evidence behind not staring all the way around the turn. It's best stuff to do.
Right.
So you want to be looking at, and this is where the action happens. We want to look at this area, taking our first fence as an example. This is where the work happens, and this is where the reward happens. Otherwise, what happens is you have